Hello folks, Scott Grove here with a request I had from just earlier today actually. I said, Scott, and I said, hey, what? Because that's my name. And they said, can you do like all that old 70s stuff where people used to just like play the same old thing, just, you know, repeated stuff over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, what, me? Repeating stuff over and over again? Oh, it's going to be a stretch, but I think I can do it. Okay, so I knew exactly what kind of licks they were talking about. It's like, yeah, I'll get that one today. And sorry for some of my good friends who I totally promised videos to be done this past weekend, and I still haven't done it, and I'm going to get to those. I swear I am, but this one I just could not refuse because it's just like, I'm so into it. Today is actually Halloween 2012 when I'm recording this, so I have my Kiss Halloween pumpkin shirt on. So yeah, imagine the guys, you know, especially old Gene, trying to cash in on the Halloween thing. Okay, that's cool. There's Mr. Gene. Okay, so quite cool. And today I'm going to be playing my 1973 Ovation Breadwinner. Very groovy axe, active. These are actually great big huge single coils. Believe it or not, yep, those are single coils, folks, back in 1973. Nylon saddles back in the day. Okay, and somebody very famous actually right here used to use this guitar. Actually recorded the first Kiss album with it, first and a half Kiss albums with it. That's right, Ace Frehley. No, he didn't have no Les Paul back then. He used this and a same colorism, but he just yanked out the active electronics, threw in some DiMarzio Super Distortion pickups. Then he also had his old 1964 Epiphone Coronet in Cherry, which I also had, and we both had them at the same time. I owned both those guitars at the exact same time back when I was a kid. And when I first got into Kiss, that was actually kind of strange, but these are what Ace cut his teeth on and what he used in Kiss at the beginning of the thing. You know, we're all used to Ace Frehley playing his old, especially in the beginning, when you see it on the front of the Alive album cover, Alive 1, a version of this Tobacco Sunburst, but his was a 1973 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe that had the mini humbuckers that he ripped them out and took those same DiMarzio Super Distortion pickups from that he threw inside the Breadwinner that looked just like mine here, and he tossed them into it. Whatever happened to that guitar, you ask? No, you didn't. But anyway, what he did finally, after a long time, he actually took that guitar and took a saw to it. Yes, that's what happened. And see how you have a cutaway right here on the Les Pauls? He did that to the other side, so it ended up being a double cutaway. Yes, he did, and painted it black. So it ended up, this here's a Gibson here too. Okay, so it ended up looking like this, but with the two DiMarzio Super Distortions in it. So if anybody ever wants to know whatever happened to that guitar, that's what happened. He cut it up, made it look like this, and now somebody else owns it. It's online if you ever want to check it out. I'll show you some stuff real quick, and then we'll get into these fun, cool lessons. Here's Ace playing this same year, same design, same model, same everything guitar, but he clearly has his DiMarzio Super Distortion humbuckers in there. I'll go through a couple pictures real quick and then we'll get to actual lessons. Here's him again with little bitty shot, same thing. Notice back then they didn't have the white face paint on yet, just the silver. The other guys, as you'll see in a little bit, just had little to no makeup on. Here's them with no makeup in, cutting the first album. Here's Ace playing through the white Ovation again in the studio. Look how skinny he was. About the same skinny as I was back then. There's his shirt with his rhinestone stud setter. Ace on there. There's Pete back there in the back. There's Ace's little half-stack kind of Marshall looking thing. I mean, it's what they could afford back then. So, you know, Les Pauls didn't come till later. A couple more just for fun, because it's my fun, and I live in a Kiss world. There's Gene over here playing God knows what. Pete back here. There's a whole bunch of Sun amplifiers on stage. There's Paul playing what appears to be possibly a Les Paul. But here's Ace over here playing through his little Marshall and playing this Breadwinner again. And one more shot just for the heck of it. See, again, still nobody had the white paint on their face. Just the black stuff or the silver stuff in Ace's case. Here's Ace again and Paul. And there's the Breadwinner again with the DiMarzio Super Distortions in it, and again still no white face paint at this point. So I thought you might find that kind of groovy. And whether you did or didn't, there it is. Hey, so anyway, so once again, happy Halloween to everybody. And if it is like July of 2086 by now when you're finally watching this, then happy July to you. Okay, so the licks I've been asked to do, again, were those licks back in the 70s that like Ace did. And that, pardon me, I'm getting some pick spit so my pick can hang on. Yeah, the licks like Ace did and licks like everybody else did, but they were just repetitious. They just went over and over and over and over again. Straight pentatonic licks, 3 or 4 notes that anybody can play, but you can put a whole bunch of these together and just make really long solos out of it. I still do these all the time because since the 70s, I don't think I've learned any new licks. You laugh, but that's not far from true as far as rock and roll goes, because I got into country about the same time I got into Kiss, so it was really weird. But playing live, I always played country. So as far as the rock thing went, I listened to it all the time, but I never learnt much more of it. So I continue to this day, every time a classic rock tune comes on, play these same old tired licks. So it's what I know, and I was so happy when the guy said, "Hey, can you play those?" It's like, that's all I know. So I'll be glad to do this one for free. So anyway, those licks, let's get them down here on the guitar. And we're going to do this in the key of A mainly today, because I just went ahead and threw a quick one of those type of rhythms, well, exactly that type of rhythm, into my little guitar looper. And then I couldn't stand the sound of my guitar going through there, so I put my guitar back through an amp and started recording this over again. So just talk about a guitar going through an amp that sounds better than a guitar going through an AM radio. Those kind of licks, especially from like Ace's end, from the Ace Frehley era, you get all the Ace Frehley was the king of repeating crap all the time, and he still, you know, is like me in a way where he never got any better. He is still playing those same licks. His playing never really improved, so they just kept getting better guitar players. I know people can yell at me for that. Everybody loves to see the original band stay together, but that's the way it is. I mean, he still plays the exact same licks and never grew with the times, which is cool. You know, some people are just stuck where they're stuck at, and that's, you know, we're happy with that too, some of us, and I'm one of those. I'm too old to be teaching myself new tricks, so I'm going to teach you the old ones. And why? Because somebody asked for it, and by golly, that was something I actually knew how to do. Okay, other things, just being the little stuff like a... You get the... Okay, so you just keep getting all this kind of stuff, and after a while you end up piecing all these together, and you have some crazy stuff like the... Okay, so you get the... And then you hook those together. Okay, so then you start hooking them together, then from there you go. And you take them up an octave. You know, same with Ace. I got a file of fret there, I just found out. Okay, any excuse for me screwing up, but no, really. There it is. Okay, so we'll go just from any of these licks. I'll pick the first one, and that will be the one that is... Ace did a lot of stuff that was like Chuck Berry-esque. So he did a lot of stuff that sounded like Chuck Berry, like what I showed you a minute ago. You know, they did a song called Let Me Go Rock and Roll, and it was nothing but Chuck Berry licks. And Ace, for his big solo, he'd come out. I don't want to make this a whole Kiss lesson, but he would go. And just keep going faster and faster and faster. And that was his solo for 15 minutes at the Kiss concert. So, I mean, it's just very, very Chuck Berry oriented. So, everything went from rock and roll in the 50s to a little more acid rock in the 60s. Then it became rock in the 70s. And then it became whatever it was in the 80s. And then it became metal. And then... so this here is just rock. It's kind of where rock and roll left off. Then everybody took a whole bunch of drugs. Then the 70s came around. They were still on drugs, but not so many hallucinogenics. They were just smoking dope. And so then it was back to rock again. So it wasn't all trippy, hippy dippy stuff. So this isn't your Grateful Dead stuff. This is your Kiss and your AC/DC and your Zeppelin type of licks. Okay? So now that you haven't learned anything for about 12 minutes now, let's get into the first one. Okay, first one being, like I said, that one. If you know it, skip ahead. Okay, so this is going to be in the key of A because, like I said, I've got my thing down here going in the key of A, and we'll play along with it. Okay, so this is your first finger across the 5th fret of your E and B string. Okay? Now we're going to take our 3rd finger, put it on the 7th fret of your G string, and then do all 3 strings and bend the G string until it becomes an E note. So the same note that you're playing on your B string at the 5th fret. So they will tie together. Hear them come together. Okay? There they are. If you miss it, overshoot it, undershoot it, it will just sit there and vibrate like crazy. Until you bend harder, then you finally get it there, and then your finger splits open and bleeds everywhere. Then you put some super glue on it, man up, and keep going. Okay? So, that's what we have to get to first. These are basically for beginners on lead guitar, or people who just want to get a little flashback into the 70s to learn how to play the roots of rock. Not rock and roll, but rock. Okay, so that's your first lesson. Good enough? Okay, let's move on. Now what we're going to do is, and that's picking up on high E. So you upstroke on the high E. Now we're going to go 8, pull off to 5 on the B string. And then on the high E string, up again. So you have this. Up on the high E string. Now down. And do a pull off on your 8th fret down to your 5th fret on the B string. And then up again real quick on your high E. So you have. Okay, so you let the last 2 play together. Okay, so you let off, do the pull off, let it ring, and hit that E string again by going up. So you have slowly. As fast as you want, but that's the whole point. And you can play at half speed, 3/4 speed, full speed, whatever speed it is. I will play this backing track and show you a few different speeds of this being played at half speed, and yes, actually 3/4 speed and regular speed, and then doing nothing but just the without all that, without that. So I will mix up just this and just without the other stuff, okay? Okay, so here we go, regular speed. Okay, I can tell right now I'm going to need just a little bit more juice to get this thing jamming. Okay, got to play over top of my lead thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, all the way at full tempo with the song. Okay, so you got that. Actually, I'm going to pull the rhythm track down so I don't wake up the missus. Better to go down than it is to go up, as she says. Scotty, go down. Okay. Okay, so then added something new. So there you get an idea of what's going on. Just repetition. You play it how you want it. Okay, so it's just a matter of where you want to put the emphasis on that particular thing. Take that whole thing, just slide it up, those first two notes. So you have all of that to go to. It's like, where was all the lessons, the first parts? That's it, man, just slide up to it. Okay, there's no teaching you soul, brother. So just decide what sounds good to you as far as repetition for these. Okay, same thing with the exactly the same. Instead of doing this, you're doing. And that's all just part of that one thing. Okay, and again, variations on that. Okay, are going to be the very next thing that I played in it, which was you heard that forever and you still hear it. Everybody that learns their first little hammer-ons and pull-offs do this. Okay, so these are just simply the same thing. Fifth and fifth with your high E string, same finger on there. You're going to the 10th fret, back and forth. B string, 5, 8, 5. These are the fret numbers, 5th, 8th, 5th. And you play it once, hammer your finger on, pull it back off. When you pull it off, pluck it down towards the ground a little bit. Not much, just enough to make a sound again. So you only hit it with your pick once. Sooner or later you get used to that if you aren't already. And if you can't get that to happen, turn on more gain, more distortion. The more distortion you have, more gain you have on, the more all this stuff comes out. If you play it real wimpy with, you know, stuff that sounds like Donnie and Marie guitar, you're not getting much. But then now we got something. Okay, so that's what we got on that string. But guess what? We have the same thing on the high E string. Okay, so now more gain. That's why you can hear the amp buzzing louder. That's because again these are actually single coil pickups, not humbuckers, so they are noisy. So we get to live with the noise. Okay, so 5, 8, 5 on the B. Same thing on the E string. And after a while it will become very fluid. there was not much in the way of any kind of tapping back then. People didn't know what to do with it quite yet. Okay, so I might stick a little bit of that in here if we have some time left over, but it's hard to say. But I'm trying to keep it period correct from the request of doing 70s type of lead solos. So I'm going to try to keep her there. And coming off of that same thing, using both those same strings still. I'm going to keep using these strings till I can't think of anything else to play on these. Then we'll go on some other strings. Then we'll start tying some of these together. Okay. The other one is simply going the same notes. Let's go on the B string. Now we're just going pull-offs all the way down from 8, 7, 5. So we go. Still, you're only playing at one time with your pick. Then the same thing on the E string. But you can play that thing around all day long, and people back then would never get tired of it. Okay, so that's just another one of those licks, and that's what we're here for. Okay, in the same respect, don't forget that you can also do this. How can you forget it if you haven't learned it yet? I know. Play the same string without the other one. So go to the high string. And stop and explore other notes in the middle. Don't just stay with what I show you. Please don't stay with what I show you. Dink around with it. You've heard these are the same notes. There are only 12 notes in the entire world, period. So with 12 notes to choose from, there's in different octaves, but there are only 12 notes in the world. There never will be any more. Okay? That's all there is. That's all there ever is going to be. So you have to find out new ways and new orders to put them in. Okay, that's how you get new songs. Well, actually, there's been a million songs out there written with the same 3 chords in it and same everything in it except for new words. So sometimes you don't have to worry about the music. You can rip everybody off note for note and just change the words, and it's okay. But for us today, okay, so there's a whole lot of information right there, and those are nothing but using your kanaga, using your brain, using your soul, instead of then get in there. Okay, so actually. And then you get the bend notes. That's right. So more information coming at you, especially on the B string. If you're going, you can play both of these in the key of A. And I'll turn on the backing track in a second and throw all these at you and show you how to throw them together with what we've already learned. And these will be, I'm sitting there cracking my knuckles, not messing with my jump. So on the B string, grab that G note or your 8th fret and bend it up to the A note. Okay? Use other fingers to help you. They're already on that string. Use all your fingers and bend it up to that A note. And that is another one of those repetitious notes that were used in the 70s. People did it everywhere. Again, Ace Frehley, who just was my guy when I was growing up, that was who I looked after, but he is the epitome of playing things over and over and over till they are just over and over and over done, and then he is over and over and over in the band, then he's back, then he's over again, then he's back, and then it's a matter of how you use your vibrato. If if you're one of these guys like me who a lot of times likes to take your vibrato and just go and just shake it like crazy, try slowing it down sometimes and getting, that's what they call milking the note, just like B.B. King does. He can play one note and just milk it for days, and play one note through his entire solo, and people will stand up and give him a standing ovation for having played one note, but playing it very well, and over and over and over again, but putting different emphasis on it and making it do different things, but just with one note. He is the king of, that's why they call him B.B. King, I guess, I don't know. Another Ace Frehley thing, the stutter, okay? Okay, that is another one of those. For that, we're still in the key of A. That same note you did that with on the G string, 7th fret. As you are releasing that band, you go down and hit a click instead of the note. How you do that? You push down and then hit it with the side of your thumb. You don't get the squeal out of it like a pinched harmonic. Okay, that's in a different video. Look it up, Scott Grove, pinched harmonics. You'll find all that stuff. But the Ace Frehley thing, and the thing everybody else did. Okay, so you're down doing a click, and then coming up, hitting the note. Okay, that was a really big thing in the 70s too. Okay. And then pull off. And then, so you pulled off from 7 to 5, and finally down to 7 on the D string. And you're back in A again. Okay, so we have all of that information, just tons of it already, which was do that on the E string too. Now playing both. Now up. So you have all that stuff already, and what's your other option? That's right, go up here a whole octave. I've got 24 frets, and do the same thing again. Okay, you can do some of this stuff and just do it lightning fast, what's called butterfly picking. All these notes, same. Everything I'm showing you, use today's techniques of butterfly pickings. They did it back then. Okay, so don't let me stop you from doing anything. I implore you, Google that word, implore. I beg of you, do your own thing. I'm just giving you the ingredients, go bake your own cake, or whatever I usually say. I'm giving you the tools, go make your own house. I don't want to say things about tools too much. Okay, so sticking all that stuff together real quick, in no particular order, of course, because it's just jamming. This is just to give you ideas, so you can come back and say, oh, that was cool, or that really sucks. So whichever the case may be, here's all of those things, and I'll keep it right here, and that's that. I'll just mix them in together in different ways of just what I've shown you so far. so there's all that, and I didn't even change octaves yet. I didn't change chords. Okay, now if you didn't know this, songs that are generally like 3-chord songs, like what was just going on there, A, and then they go to D, and then back to A, and then to E. Okay, if you don't know this already, if you stay in the key that the song is in, like we're doing right now, in A, but even all the chords behind you change from A to D, back to A, back to E, you get to stay playing in A if you want to. You don't have to go chord changing or chord chasing. You don't have to go A, turn on D, back to A, back to E, up to A. You don't have to do that. You just stay right where you're at. That's the big thing that really screws a lot of people up. They don't realize that you can stay in the key of the song that you're playing, and you don't have to get out of there. You can stay right there in that key, and you don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to change anything. You keep playing what you're playing, and you're fine as long as it is those 3 chords. If it jumps out there and then does like a B minor or a C sharp minor or your F sharp minors, which would be the only other chords that would probably be there. You might get the occasional C thing thrown in, or possibly the G or if you're doing like that kind of thing, you get the C thrown in. But those are all from the major scale. So just know that you can, stay in everything where I showed you. Your comfort zone. Play A. And now they go to D. What do? You stay there. Now they go back to A. What do? Now they go to E. What do? They go back to D. What do? They go back to A. What do? I'm serious as a heart attack. Go try it. Okay, so that's probably the best thing you're going to learn right there. Don't go chasing chords. Don't go chasing chords at all. Little TLC for you, thank you. I know, don't quit my day job. This is my day job. It's my night job, actually. So, again, do everything I just showed you, and then do it an octave higher. Take everything from the 5th fret, take it up to 17. Because that's where it sounds the coolest. Okay, I'm just showing you down here because it's easy to get it right here in frame and show it to you on really big frets, and then not have to get up here and have you, stare at things you ain't supposed to be looking at. So the best things are, heck, let's put them up there one time. No, the track. Same stuff. Okay, exact same stuff. So you see, it just sounds cooler up there. Okay, which one was it I played up there that I was like, man, I have to show them that one too? Oh yeah, that one. Okay, this here is very, very important. I've showed this before, but so be it. It belongs in this lesson too. Going from A, so it's going from the 7, 5, 7 on the D string. So A, G, A. Okay? I'm trying to get the glare off of this neck for you, so that's why I'm doing this all the time. Trying to be conscious, trying to be nice, trying to be kind. I know, Scott, shut up so we can have a lesson. Okay, so there you go. Hammer on, pull off. Or actually pull off, hammer on. Pull off, hammer on. Okay, then you just go and hit the G and the B string at the 5th fret. Okay, so watch down here too. Okay, and what else you can do is try to bend, because what the actual A chord is If you play it like an F shape, there's your F chord. So you actually want the notes that are on your G string to be at the 6th fret and the other one to be at the 5th, but we're doing them both on the 5th fret, which is totally fine. It's just a minor, and that's, you can play minors over majors, no problem. People do it every single day, and they do it more than they don't do it. But if you give it that little bend towards the floor and try to consciously bend that G string a little bit towards the floor, but not the B string, I know it's not going to happen that way, but consciously try to think until your muscle memory gets used to doing this. Hear that? You can stop it and do it regular, that's fine. But it sounds cool when you go. Gives it that little wang, and it takes it almost up to the major note, like that. Here it sounds like it's doing that. Okay, and carrying this on. Okay, that's another one. Sit there all day long. Make my point. Okay, from there on you can go, then go down to the 7th fret. So you go and just flatten out your ring finger, and then that's up one more fret. So we go from the 5th to the 7th to the 8th. And that's the other cool part, is actually going from 8, 7, 5. And back to your beginning. What famous song does this? So it's doing the same thing. So you're using the same principle. See, they're the same thing, they're just put together differently. Okay? And there's another great one, is, okay, bending that one on the 7th fret, back to the 5th, then end up on the 7th again on the D string. That's just like going, but this is bending it, and it sounds better. Okay, then you'll get used to doing that. Bending upward on the G string, 7th fret, pull off the 5, and then stop on 7 on the D string. Here's Jimmy Page stuff right here. Great repetition stuff. Okay, and again, same thing based off the Ace Frehley. Okay. He would stop there, and Page kept going. And then bend it further than you need to. Okay, why not? That's what people do. Really, just bend it as far as you can bend it. Use 3 fingers to help bend it. Then you can bend it all the way to the other side of your neck and back until it breaks your back or your fingers or your string, whichever. Okay, so there's another one. And okay, so all of that. Okay, so just whatever you can think to do with these. These are famous, famous, famous ways of making those licks. And then again, just doing it with one note. And do that one also an octave higher. And the way we're going to do this one is taking us up in the new territory. If I'm going to show you all that stuff with the backing tracks, no, I'm running out of time. I don't want to run out of time, but this stuff's just too much fun, and I'm dragging it out longer than I need to, just like I do everything. Okay, we need more licks. Okay, so play all that with anything you can find in the key of A. Here, play it with this. Okay. Okay, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of like having sex with me. Was it good for you? Hey, okay, I'm done. Okay. Oh, God, I hope these videos don't get in the wrong hands, but I know they will because I'll give them away for free. Same thing with the playing that an octave higher. Let's do it all the way up here at 15 on the B string. 15 and 13. Those are fret numbers, people. And then finally 14 on the G string. So 15, bend it up on the B. Back down to 15. Pull off to the 13. And then play the 14 on the G. And do all the same stuff. Get some major vibrato. Bend it up or down, I don't care. Put some cool stank on there, dudes. Put some more gain on there. Hit both strings, hit the G and the B together. It just comes up with great stuff. Now here's some cooler stuff with it. And we get that sound here by simply putting the pinky on the 15th fret also of the high E string. So you have your ring finger, 15th fret, and you got the other one waiting in the wings down here at the 13th. Put your pinky at the 15th fret on the high E. Leave it there, don't take it off. Okay? Play both strings with the bend only on the B string. Now I do take my finger off, I'm sorry, on my pinky. Okay, but what's cool is while you're leaving it, if you want to leave it on there, you're like, what? That's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the E and B string while you're releasing the bend on your B string only. Okay, what? Okay, now that is really cool. Okay, so a lot of really cool stuff there that you can repetitively do. That's just going and then hitting the high E string. Bend up on the 15, then hit the high E. Okay, so anything you can think of to keep repeating, and these licks go on forever and ever. And like I said, I'm full of it. Imagine that. Here's to you. Let me get my Indian straw. Put that down on my tea. No teeth. Wait, which way does it go? Can't find the end of it. There's too many jokes that are too easy. I'll leave that one to you guys. Yummage. Okay. Same thing. Everything else an octave higher. While you're there, while you're sitting there. You're like, what'd you do? I did exactly what I've already showed you before, where you're just doing that, just an octave higher. I just went from this and bending. The same stuff, just an octave higher, just like I showed you before. So nothing different. If you missed it, go back and go get it, because I got more stuff I want to show you, by golly. And yes, again, I have to keep telling everybody, because this might be their first visit to this insane channel. All my lessons I keep cramming on here are an hour long, because why? I still use old school video cameras. I got a whole bunch of them here that actually use the 1 hour tapes on them. Why don't I get a high definition super high quality digital camera with a hard drive built in. There it is. I've got a whole bunch of those too, but I don't like them. I like these old nasty things. Same as my guitar licks. And same as my guitars. I like the old nasty ones. I like the old nasty guitar licks. I like the old nasty cameras. I like the old nasty girls. That's why I'm married into my age league all 3 times. I don't go get the young girls. I get the ones that are, you know, women. I'm past the girl stage, trust me. Okay. Okay, what was that? Nothing that you get to learn today. Why? Because it's not repetitious. Only thing that was repetitious was my right hand. Again, butterfly picking has been invented lately. So take everything and do the butterfly picking with the same things and make it crossbreed the old stuff with the new stuff. Sounds like you're playing a million miles an hour, but you're just playing so slow. Look at this. And people honestly do get so sick of hearing, other than guitar players, they get tired of hearing playing that butterfly picking crap and sweep picking and arpeggios and all that. It is good to hear somebody ask for something classic that actually less is more. Is cooler than that stuff. You know. Okay, so a couple more ideas here before I run out on my dinosaur camera. Also the same type of stuff that I'm going from, and I'll do another one of these because there's so much more of this to do. I'm just trying to think of which ones I want to put in with these same licks so that you have continuity at least between what licks to play and so that they all fit together as groovy things. Okay, the other ones are nice simple little runs like this. These are all pull-offs, okay, and hammer-ons. One of these I did just a second ago, but it's cool because you can be just overly monotonous with this too, and it sounds great, which is the from A. Okay, it's not the lick that's monotonous, it is the hammer-on and pull-offs that are monotonous. But if you start up high enough, even you can take it all the way down the whole length of the guitar. Okay, so let's just do this one really quick. Let's start from A, 14th fret, 14, 16, 14. Okay, I'm just going to throw numbers at you just like tab. Okay, so 14, 16, 14, 12, 14, 12, 11, 12, 11, 9, 11, 9, 7, 9, 7, 6, 7, 6, 4, 6, 4, and then finally 2, 4, 2. So just again. Okay, and the thing about that again is, let me turn up the gain. Okay, is that thing. Okay, so just use your hammer-ons. And all the way back up. Okay. Getting a major key there, Scott. Do them backward, forwards, any way you want. But the hammer-ons were huge then. And like I said, people didn't know about tapping too much yet. They would stick it in every now and then. Okay, and if you want to get that in there, that was a thing. Ace did a lot of it. He would generally go up there and grab one note to get him outside of the repetition zone, basically. So if he's in there, okay, so that is a great thing to toss in as just a one note thing to again put you in the actual decade that it was done in. Okay, so again, to try to keep things in the proper decade. So again, do this. Whatever you're coming up with, but do it on the G string for now, for learning's sake. And repetition, because that's what we're learning. And then bend it up a whole step. Then you're going to tap on the 12th fret, which is a G note, but since you already have it bent 2 notes, that takes your G up to an A. See how that works? Okay, so anyway, so and while it's bent up, tap the 12th fret, and that is your A. And then you let the bend loose. And a lot of people would do this. Do the old police siren, but they did not get the whole hang of all this stuff until, you know, another 5 years later. Okay, so as soon as Eddie came around, then that stuff became everything to everybody. And if you remember, Eddie kept his back to the audience because he didn't want anybody to figure it out for a little while. Wow, dude. And now everybody just smokes him. Pretty cool though, except for me. I just sit here and do this, but I'm not going to gripe. I'm having a cool time doing it. Same thing. Pick other spots. Do that one. Of course, the A is going to work. Take the notes from the chord. Okay? So you're going... When you have a note bent all the way up, you have to go 2 notes behind it when you're thinking. You're like, I have it bent up 2 notes. So I have to play, instead of playing the A note, it's already bent up. So I got to go 2 frets behind it because the note is already bent up 2 frets. So think G now. You got to go 2 frets behind whatever the note is. Now the other one, and try not to ever play the thirds of a chord. Okay, try to play the root and the 5th, meaning here, these 2 notes. What's the other note? You got A. The other one is E. So now on the same string, we did the A, but it's actually a G because it's 2 frets down. Now, if you were to do the E, think 2 frets down, what would that be? That would be D. So E is here, all the way up here at the 21st fret. So we got to go back to the 19th fret to hit the, make it actually turn into an E. So we can do A. Turn some more gain on so we can hear it. Okay, so those are the 2 notes you can get on each string without having to worry about whether it's major or minor, just hitting the root and the 5th. Those 2 notes. Okay, so again, that is basically it for now. Again, I'm going to leave this down here off my face, but again, to go over everything really quick, you have that. And then figuring out the... and doing bends on each one. Okay, and also okay, another real quick one, and also you did this back and forth. We haven't done this one. Let's get it really quick. Here on the B string, let's do A here. I'm sorry, I left one out that I really wanted to get more than anything. Okay, A, all the way up here on 10th fret. Now we're going 10. Now 12 with that finger and pinky on the 12th fret also. So you're doing. Okay, so you do 12th fret B string, bend it up, and then hit your high E string coming up. Okay, so E, now hit the B string again. So you release it, then pull off, then up again. With the high gain. So you keep going to the high E string as you're repeating. So I would come up to it. And then get you right into it there. Okay, and then you have everything an octave higher, of course. Okay, and then so much more. But anyway, there's a whole bunch to get you started on the young man who wanted to hear just a whole bunch of stuff on these 70s repetitive rock thing. And if your brain isn't scrambled now by going, just shut up already, then it should be. And thanks for checking out the cool old Ovation Breadwinner again, 1973, the same year that Ace Frehley used on the very first album, Man for Half of Hotter Than Hell, before he went and got his Les Paul and then gutted it and took the guts out of here and trashed this guitar and blah 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 blah. A lot of cool history out there now that they're long unmasked and 30, 40 years later, whatever it's been, 40 years now? Yeah, 40 years. And all the old cool pictures are coming out and you get to see these kinds of things and learn some fun stuff. So go back and listen to the 70s, enjoy all your repetitive. Okay, you can do that if you're a DJ now. You can repetitive stuff there. Okay, but you wouldn't want to. Who wants to listen to that crap? I guess all the kids, they're making gazillions of dollars off that stuff. So, wish I would have known I could have made $1 billion off of spitting into my hand about 40 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 20 years ago, whatever it's been. It feels like a lifetime doing it. No matter how long that rap crap has been around, it feels like a lifetime. And I thought it was a fad. Instead, it was just a bunch of fags. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? Okay. So anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy your free stuff, and there will be a part 2 and a part 12 to it. There will be no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, but there will be a part 2 and a part 12, so stick around for those. Bye! 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 I'm being repetitive. Bye! 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 And